Hello, friends! Barkey J. Dog here, back with another edition of Barkey Explains. Haven't done one of these in a while, have I? This time, we're looking at a miracle of modern chemistry, a metamaterial of its day, namely, Bakelite. But Barkey, I hear you ask, what the hell is Bakelite? Well, Bakelite was essentially one of the first widely used plastics, the granddaddy of soda bottles, Tupperware, and cell phone cases. Bakelite, also known as polyoxybenzyl methylene glycol anhydrate, was the brainchild of one Leo Baekeland way back in 1907. He was already rich from inventing one of the first commercially successful photographic papers, so he had the time and money to sit around tinkering on other stuff. Originally, Bakeland was trying to come up with a synthetic form of shellac. See, shellac was a kind of varnish you could build up in layers and was used in manufacturing 78 RPM records, and it had other applications. It was made from the crap of a certain insect. That's right. People would have these bugs crapping all over, and someone had to collect all of this bug crap, and then they turned it into shellac. Sounds like a pretty crappy job, all right. Chemists wanted to make a form of shellac that could be more easily manufactured without relying on bugs' asses. Chemists had known for a while that if you mixed certain chemicals together, they produced these resins and polymer chains, but they couldn't figure out what to do with them. Heating the stuff up just made them bubble and foam, so they were useless. Then along came old Bakey, and he figured out that if he mixed formaldehyde and phenol and heated it up under pressure, the stuff didn't form bubbles, so they could use it. He called this substance Novalac, but his synthetic shellac didn't sell, so he went back to the drawing board, added some cellulose filler to the gunk, and Bakelite was born. It was the world's first thermosetting phenyl formaldehyde resin, or in other words, a form of plastic. Designers and manufacturers went bananas over the stuff. They had a substance they didn't need to carve, like wood, and it could be cast like plaster or molten metal. At the same time, it was light and cheap to make. Bakelite was used in all kinds of things, so much so that their company logo was a capital letter B with the infinity symbol under it, as its uses were infinite. It was non-conductive, too, which made it a natural for insulators for electronic components. Telephones and radios had Bakelite chassis parts. There was Bakelite kitchenware, Bakelite combs, Bakelite letter openers, Bakelite chess sets and poker chips, guitar bodies made of Bakelite, and in one case it was even used as a base coating for skis. It was used in knife handles, gun stocks, and airplane parts. They even made jewelry and other stuff out of it. Bakelite was everywhere. Here's a radio with a chassis made out of Bakelite. This is a General Electric Model 500 from 1949. The dumbass I bought it from shipped it to me without any packing material. Just chucked it in a box and handed it to the postman. Which brings me to one of the problems with Bakelite. Namely, while Bakelite was strong and heat-resistant, it tended to crack and shatter like porcelain if it got dropped. And when it broke, it didn't break cleanly. The edges of a piece of broken Bakelite were always rough, so it was hard to put the stuff back together. Usually, Bakelite was this dark reddish-brown color, to help hide the fact it had all these fillers in it. Although it did come in ivory, and if they didn't add the fillers, the stuff was transparent and they could add other colors, such as in the Bakelite jewelry. The successor to Bakelite was a plastic called Catalin, a competitor's brand which had a wider variety of colors, such as fire engine red. Eventually, the Bakelite company was bought out by Union Carbide, and the stuff lasted all the way into the 1950s, when it was eventually supplanted altogether by other forms of plastic. Barkey died in 1944, having retired and turned into a recluse. Sounds like he went a little bit nuts towards the end, probably from spending all that time playing with chemicals. He was laid to rest in Sleepy Hollow, New York. At the time, Bakelite was still used in over 15,000 products. So, there you go. Bakelite. The more you know, the less you don't.